Okay, so my demo on Facebook Live was not a complete success. It's the first time I ever tried to do a screen share through Facebook Live, and it just was not great. So what I want to do now is I want to show you how to mail with LandSpeed Auto Mail. It is so easy, and it's set it and forget it. You know, when you're trying to build a business, I've said it a million times, if you want to make big money, you got to solve big problems. You can't solve big problems if you're spending all your time solving little problems like how to get mail out the door. So LandSpeed Auto Mail is designed to make it so easy that you don't really have to do anything. So I want to show you how that works today. So what you are looking at is the homepage of LandSpeed built on Podio. You see all our apps going across the top. And these first few are particularly important. There are these three over here. Here you can request lists, but then you've got mailing source, which is where it's like a holding area for all of your data. Campaign control panel, which is where we're going to set up mailing campaigns. And then mailings, this is where the records go after they've been processed. So when somebody calls you, this is where you're going to go pull up their records, see what you've sent them, and take notes. Let me show you just how easy this is. So in mailing source, this is where we are going to add our data. This is the holding area. And adding data is super easy. You just click the wrench and come down here and say Excel import. Now I provide you with a template. So I'm just going to drag one over here. And you'll see that it's going to show up in a second. And it's going to align all of the fields. And because of the way I've set up the template, it's really just as simple as pulling straight across. You just align them and you add the data in. Just match up name to name. Piece of cake. Now I'm not actually going to import this because I've already imported it, but I wanted to show you how easy it is to bring the data in. It really is just simply a matter of aligning the names. But I've already brought the 5 records of data in, enough for our demo today. Here they are, all our favorite WWF characters. And now, once the data's in here, we can go ahead and set up a campaign. I actually have a campaign in here, but I don't want to use it. I'm going to actually delete that campaign. We're going to start from scratch. So this is how you create a campaign. You just click this green Add Campaign control panel, adds a campaign. Now we're going to work with Hernando County, so I'm just going to put that as Hernando Test. And you can put any description you want in here, as much or as little, to help remind you later on what your thought process was, what were the parameters of the campaign. I'm not going to put anything in there now, but you can add anything you want. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to connect some templates. So I can connect a neutral template and I can connect a blind template. I actually don't have a neutral template in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select a 1-page letter for my neutral, and I'm going to select a 2-page letter for my blind. Now, it's really easy when you do this, because what I'm going to do, when you have your data, when you set it up in Excel, you either put an offer into the offer column or you don't. If you don't put an offer column in, LandSpeed figures it out and will send a neutral letter. If you put an offer in on a particular record, LandSpeed will say, oh, that's a blind offer, and they'll send out the blind offer template. So you don't actually have to do anything to figure it out. You just price where you want to price, don't price where you don't want to price. LandSpeed will figure out what is the right offer to send. Then you would put in your campaign dates. So you can do, say, from July 15th, today, I'm going to go all the way through December 31st. And I want to send records on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I'm going to set my next run date as today. And you can set whatever mail class you want. You can say standard rate, black and white, first class, no stamp, black and white, first class with stamp, black and white, and then the same options in color. And then you can say how many letters per day you want to send. And then finally down here, you'll select your counties. I've only got one county's worth of data in here, so I'm going to select Hernando. But you may have lots of counties in here, and you can actually put multiple counties in a single campaign if you want to. That's not a problem. Now I'm going to save it, and there it is. So what this campaign now is set up to do is between today and December 31st, On Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, it's going to send out 30 letters per day, first class with stamp color, to Hernando County. And that's it. If it's got an offer, it'll send out a blind template. If it doesn't have an offer, it'll send out a neutral template. You're done. You've now just washed your hands and say, okay, the next 5-6 months of mailing is done. As long as you have enough data, you're good to go. Don't have to think about it again. Actually, I'm going to show you another feature first, this price adjustment. If I send all my letters out in one shot, I have no opportunity to make adjustments based upon the feedback I'm getting from my campaign. So I like to mail every day for that purpose. Now, let's say we're getting a lot of mail back, which means our prices are too high. Well, we've got all of these records over there in the mailing source app over here. It would be really hard to go in and adjust every one of those individually. You don't need to do that. So what this is going to say is that in this campaign, which is going to Hernando County, the records that match this profile, you can make an adjustment to the price. You can raise them 10%, or you can put a minus sign in there and lower them 10%, or 5%, or 20%, whatever you want to do. I'm actually going to go 50% just so that it's really obvious that we've made this change. So we're going to adjust these prices by 50%. Now, I'm going to send a test letter. So I'm just going to send one test because you want to see it in action before it goes live. So once I hit test, you see it says send test, and you can see what's happening. It gives you the activity right here. In a moment, it's going to give you the result. Drum roll, please. Okay. We completed the mailing run today on July 15th at 4:20 in the afternoon. We processed one record. There are 4 records remaining in this campaign. Now, not only do we know what we've done, but we also know how much data we have left as well, which is very powerful. Now, I should be able to go to my mailings app, and I should see that letter. And there it is. So we've got some header information up at the top, and then we've got all of the seller's information here. We've got all of the property information here. Here are the offer details. Now, there was no dollar value in here, which means this is going to be a neutral offer. We've got other information here depending upon what kind of information people want to put in their letter. Some people, offer date is the date of the letter. But what some people want to say is this offer must be signed and returned to me by such and such a date. In this case, it's 14 days after the offer date, so July 29th. You can designate whatever you want when you originally upload your data. Or this is my close by date. We will close on this deal by August 14th, which is 30 days from the date of mailing. And so it automatically adjusts to the date of mailing. So, you know, what we send on Wednesday, everything will be pushed out 2 days. Friday, everything will be pushed out another 2 days. The dates will always be correct. Then if I come down here to my letter details, I can see this was part of my Hernando test campaign. This is a neutral offer. Therefore, we're sending the one-page letter, and we're sending this first class with stamp color. So if I open this PDF to see what the letter looks like, I should see a one-page letter. And sure enough, that's what I see, a one-page letter. Okay, and now that we've done that, let's go back and actually send a campaign. So I'm going to open up my campaign, and I'm going to come down to my number of letters per day, and I'm going to put 3. Because remember, we only had 5 total records. We've already sent 1, so let's send 3, which should leave 1 record remaining. And let's also hope that we get some blinds in there so we can see this pricing arrangement going on. Sorry for the dogs barking in the background, but that's what they do. All right, so I'm going to come up here. I'm just going to pause and go live again just to make sure it's reset nicely. And down here, we should see the results. And there it is, completed the run date today at 16:24. We processed 3 records. There's 1 record remaining. Great information. So now if I go back to my mailing app, they're going to come in as they process. So there's 4.